You've seen the claims. This penny is worth $1 million. This quarter can make you rich overnight. But is it true? The truth is, most of it is completely fake. Exaggerated prices, misleading hype. That's what we're here to expose. Welcome to Rare Coin Collecting. We reveal the real value, real history, and true rarity of coins that actually matter. From wheat pennies to rare state quarters. We cover it all with facts, not fiction. We explore coins in detailed series, one country at a time. And right now, we're focused on rare US coins. Subscribe now and discover the truth behind the coins.
Most people overlook this coin. They think proof coins are always rare, always expensive. But what if I told you the Massachusetts S-clad quarter isn't as simple as that? It may look shiny, mirror-like, and flawless, but its true value depends on far more than just how it looks. Released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's proof set, the Massachusetts S-clad quarter was struck at the San Francisco Mint using specially polished dies. Over 4 million of these proof coins were made, which sounds like a lot. And for modern coins it is. But here's where collectors draw the line, because not all proof coins are created equal. Every single Massachusetts S-clad quarter was supposed to come out pristine. Deep mirrors, frosted devices, perfect contrast. But achieving absolute perfection at scale, that's where it gets tricky. Even proof coins can have flaws. Tiny scratches from the packaging process, weak frosting, spots, or hazy surfaces. Those small imperfections might seem harmless to a casual collector. But in the world of grading, they change everything. Now imagine the ones that didn't just survive but came out flawless. Coins that were preserved in untouched condition from day one. Full deep cameo, no haze, no milk spots, no marks. These are the coins that go into slabs and pull the highest grades. And those grades are what turn an ordinary proof into something much more valuable. But there's another layer. Because this is the clad version, not silver. That means collectors treat it differently. Silver proofs tend to grab more attention, but the clad versions, they're underrated. And that's exactly what makes them interesting. Low demand means fewer people grade them, and fewer high-grade coins in the market. That's where serious collectors start paying attention. The design itself is iconic. The coin shows the Minuteman, a symbol of Massachusetts's revolutionary past, standing in front of the state's outline. Simple, patriotic, timeless. And that simplicity makes even minor flaws stand out. A weak strike, blurry lines, poor contrast. Any of those will push a coin down the grading scale. But here's the real question. How many of these clad proofs were cracked out of sets and tossed aside? How many were stored improperly, exposed to moisture, heat, or oils from handling? The answer is more than you'd think, which means the surviving population of perfect examples is smaller than expected. This is the kind of coin that flies under the radar. It doesn't make viral headlines. But for the collector who knows what to look for, deep cameo contrast, clean fields, and a solid grade, it becomes a hidden gem in the series. And that's exactly what we focus on here at Rare Coin Collecting. Real coins, real facts, no hype. We're already 36 state quarters in, and every single one tells a story most people miss. If you're a collector, investor, seller, or just someone who wants to know what really matters, then stick with us, because the next quarter, it might just surprise you. Most people see a 2000 Massachusetts quarter with a D, mint mark, and think nothing of it. It's common, it's modern, and with over 535 million minted in Denver, it should be worthless, right? But once again, that's the trap. Because buried among all that high mintage are coins most people never notice. Coins with mistakes. Coins in pristine condition. Coins worth watching very closely. Now, the D mint mark means it came from the Denver Mint. And while Denver is known for generally solid strikes, that doesn't mean every coin they produced in 2000 was flawless. In fact, some of the rarest, most collectible state quarters have come out of Denver because of rare die issues, off-center strikes, and dramatic doubling that happened in limited runs. That includes Massachusetts. The design shows the iconic Minuteman, the colonial soldier, standing tall and the outline of the state in the background. Simple? Not really. That statue has fine details that wear fast. The high points of the rifle, the face, the lettering, all vulnerable. And once a coin enters circulation, most of that detail disappears within a few years. So out of over 500 million coins minted in Denver, how many do you think still survive in flawless, untouched gem condition today? The answer is shockingly low. Even uncirculated rolls of Denver coins from 2000 are hard to find today. Most people spent them. Others stored them in less than ideal conditions where moisture, air, and time degraded the surfaces. But the few that were preserved, kept in pristine state, and later submitted for grading, those can bring attention, especially when they come back from PCGS or NGC with top-tier grades. And then you've got the mint errors. Misaligned dies, off-center strikes, double dies, even coins struck on the wrong planche. All possibilities with this issue. A few examples of Massachusetts. D quarters with these flaws have sold quietly in private sales, while others remain hidden in collections or change jars, completely unnoticed. Let's not forget, this was only the 6th coin released in the state quarters program. It's not a rare coin in numbers, but it's rare in condition. It's rare with errors, and it's becoming rarer by the year as more and more low-quality coins are spent, damaged or lost forever. At Rare Coin Collecting, we're not chasing hype. We're chasing the facts. And this D-Mint Massachusetts quarter proves that even the most common coins can have uncommon stories. It's coin number 38 in our journey across all 50 state quarters, and if you've missed the others, they're all waiting for you, each with hidden details, real history, and serious collector potential. If you're buying, selling, collecting, or investing in coins, this channel is built for you. No hype, no fake prices. Just clear, honest insight into the coins that still matter. And the Massachusetts D might just be the one you overlooked. The South Carolina quarter from 2000 with a D. Mint mark might seem like just another coin in your pocket. Over 400 million of them were struck at the Denver Mint. That's a massive number. So why are collectors still hunting this one? Down like it's gold buried in plain sight? Because while most of those coins were spent, worn, or forgotten, a small number slipped through the cracks, in mint-fresh condition, or with shocking, valuable flaws that almost no one noticed back then. Let's start with the design. You've got the palmetto tree, a Carolina wren, the yellow jessamine flower, and the state outline. Sounds simple, right? But that level of fine detail means one thing. It's easy to lose definition and hard to find a clean, sharp strike. Denver Mint coins from 2000 weren't perfect. That year was full of minor die deterioration, weak edges, and inconsistent pressure in certain runs. That means not every South Carolina D quarter came out flawless, and far from it. And if you're lucky enough to find one that's still sharply struck, no scratches, no discoloration, no handling marks, and now you're talking serious collector interest. But it goes deeper than that. This coin has known errors, and the right error can transform a 25-cent coin into something worth showing off in any collection. Double dies on the palmetto leaves, misaligned dies that shift the whole design, off-center strikes, even a few wild clips. These aren't common, but they're out there, and most of the time people don't even realize what they've got. Then there's grading. Out of those hundreds of millions of coins, how many have been graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC? The answer, very few. And the higher the grade, the more dramatic the price jump, because the supply at that level is almost non-existent, while demand from serious state quarter collectors is growing every single year. Why? Because state quarter collectors want the full set. Every mint mark, every grade, every variety, and the South Carolina D is one they can't skip, especially if it comes with a rare flaw or a top-tier condition. This is coin number 39 in our journey, through all 50 state quarters, and like the others we've covered, this one hides more than most people realize. If you're just going by the mintage numbers, you'll miss the real story. You'll skip past the condition rarity, you'll ignore the error potential, and you'll never know how close you were to holding a coin that could shock you at auction. At Rare Coin Collecting, we don't buy into fake hype or viral clickbait prices. We focus on the real world, what collectors, buyers, and dealers actually care about. Condition, scarcity, market demand. And South Carolina's D-Mint quarter checks more boxes than it gets credit for. If you're a collector, investor, or seller who wants to understand what actually matters, this channel is built for you. Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind every coin in the state quarters program. It's just a Massachusetts quarter from the year 2000, right? Minted in Philadelphia, over 628 million of them were struck. So how could something this common possibly be worth anything? That's exactly what most people think, and that's exactly why they miss the real story. Start with the basics. This was the sixth coin in the 50-state quarters program. Millions of Americans collected it straight from circulation. But here's the truth: circulation destroys coins, scratches, dings, loss of detail, toning from years in pockets and drawers. So even though hundreds of millions were minted, the number that survived today in top condition is much, much lower than people realize. The average Massachusetts P quarter, you'll see his wear on the Minuteman's rifle, flattening on the state outline, and blurry detail in the lettering. But every now and then a coin shows up that somehow avoided all of that. A perfect strike, no contact marks, full original luster. And when that kind of coin gets professionally graded, things change fast. And then there's the error story. Most people never look close enough to notice a double die, or a misplaced mint mark, or even a dramatic off-center strike. But collectors who hunt these coins under magnification know what to look for. And some of those rare, minting flaws have fetched major attention. Especially on a coin this common, those rare defects create real separation. But let's dig even deeper. There are still rolls of these sitting in vaults unsearched, mint sets unopened. And out of those, it's the sharpest, brightest, cleanest coins that serious collectors target. They want full strikes, no bag marks, no toning. And the P mint mark tells them it came from Philadelphia, where strike quality was hit or miss. That's why finding one in flawless condition is harder than it sounds. The Minuteman design is bold, full of high points. Those high points wear fast. The outline of Massachusetts is deceptively simple. But even small flaws pop in the fields. Weak rims, machine doubling, defatigue. It's all visible once you know what to look for. And the grading companies? This isn't about hype. It's not $1 million quarter. But it is a coin that's still being misjudged by most collectors and totally ignored by the public. And that's exactly the kind of coin that has the most upside. Because once the high-grade examples dry up, demand turns to the few survivors left. That's why rare coin collecting is going state by state, quarter by quarter, telling the real stories. We're already 37 coins in, and if you've missed any, it's time to go back, because these coins aren't just history. If you're a buyer, a seller, a collector, or someone who wants to understand what truly makes a coin valuable, then this channel is built for you. No hype, no clickbait, just facts that actually help you collect smarter. The next quarter might surprise you, and the one after that might just change what you thought you knew about the whole series. They say this quarter is almost worthless. Some even toss it in change jars without thinking twice. But the truth? The Georgia D 1999 quarter has a hidden story, and in the right condition, it can be a lot more than just 25 cents. This was one of the very first quarters, released in the 50-state quarters program. It hit circulation on July 19, 1999, and it came from the Denver Mint, with over 488 million pieces produced. At first glance, it might seem like just another state design, but collectors know better. They're not just looking for coins, they're hunting history, minting quirks and overlooked gems. The design on the back is rich with symbolism. You'll see a peach right in the center. That's not just decoration. Georgia's nickname is the Peach State. Then there's the live oak sprigs surrounding the design, a nod to Georgia's state tree. And that outline of the state map in the background? That helps collectors spot misalignments or striking errors right away, subtle details that most people miss. Now here's where things get interesting. With nearly 500 million minted, why would anyone care about this coin? Because it's not about how many were made, it's about which ones survived in top condition. Mint state coins graded MS65 and higher, they're not common anymore. The moment a coin leaves a mint bag and enters circulation, it starts to wear. Scratches, nicks, discoloration, each one drops its value. But every once in a while one escapes. A Georgia D quarter with blazing luster, no contact marks, full detail on the peach, and a flawless surface. That's what collectors are willing to pay for. That's what you'll see in auctions climbing far beyond face value. Even more valuable, errors, like off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, or double dies. Some of these have been reported in the Georgia series, but they're not easy to find. And that's what makes the hunt so addictive. One subtle flaw could turn your pocket change into a collector's prize. It's not hype. It's not clickbait. It's numismatics. The real study of coins and the reasons why. Values change, rarity, condition, demand, history, it all matters. And in the case of the Georgia D quarter, the early release date, the heavy circulation. So the next time you're flipping through your change, don't just look at the date. Look at the details. The finish, the edges, the sharpness of the strike. And always keep an eye out for something that looks even slightly off. That might just be your jackpot. We're not here to chase fake million-dollar claims. We're here to give you the real tools, the real facts, and the right questions to ask. And if you're serious about coin collecting, whether you buy, sell, invest, or just love the thrill of the search, then Rare Coin Collecting is the channel made for you. We've already covered 35 state quarters, which means the hunt is getting more exciting and more surprising. With every coin we break down, stick around. You won't want to miss what's next. They say if your Georgia quarter has a little D under the date, it could make you a fortune. You've probably seen videos claiming this 1999 coin sells for thousands, that it's rare, that it holds secret value because it was part of the first state quarter release. But what's the truth behind the 99 Georgia D quarter? And does the D mint mark really change everything? Let's set the record straight. The Georgia quarter was released in 1999 as the fourth coin in the 50 state quarters program. It shows Georgia's state outline, a peach and its most famous fruit, and live oak branches, the state tree. It also bears the motto, wisdom, justice, moderation. The D stands for the Denver Mint. And here's the first big reveal. This coin was made in massive numbers. We're talking over 450 million Georgia D quarters struck, one of the highest mintages in the entire state quarter series. So where's the rarity? Not in the coin itself, but in the condition. Most of those 450 million coins entered everyday circulation. They were spent, scratched, dropped, and worn down over time, which means that finding one in truly uncirculated, flawless condition, especially graded at the top levels by PCGS or NGC, is extremely rare. And that's where some Georgia D quarters become collectible. But we're not just talking about uncirculated coins. We're also talking about errors. And this is where the coin gets really interesting. There have been reports of die cracks, misaligned dies, and off-center strikes on Georgia quarters. In rare cases, you'll even find coins struck on the wrong planche, say, on a dime or a foreign coin blank. If that happens and it's verified by a top grading service, then yes, it could command serious attention from collectors. But remember this, most circulated Georgia D quarters, even if they look shiny or old, are not rare, and they don't hold hidden fortune. Misinformation spreads fast online, and many people get fooled by common coins with no real collector value. So how do you know what you have? You don't just look at the mint mark. You look at the surface, the strike, the luster. And if you're serious, you get it graded by a trusted third party. That's the only way to prove what your coin is truly worth. At Rare Coin Collecting, we help you separate fact from fiction, so you don't waste time chasing internet myths. We dig into the real details that collectors and investors need to know, like mintage numbers, errors, grading standards, and historical context. So if you're a coin buyer, seller, collector, or investor, and you're ready to get real about what actually matters, then this channel is built for you. Subscribe to Rare Coin Collecting and join a growing community that values knowledge over clickbait. You may have seen people claiming that the Georgia quarter is worth thousands of dollars just because it has an S on it, or that any shiny Georgia coin from 1999 automatically makes you rich. But is it true? Could a single proof coin from the statehood series really hold that kind of hidden value? Let's break through the noise and find out the truth about the 1999 Georgia S Proof Quarter, one of the most misunderstood coins in the entire statehood series. This coin came out as part of the very first year of the 50 state quarters program. It features the state outline, a peach at the center, and live oak sprigs and the state tree, and all under Georgia's proud motto, wisdom, justice, moderation. But here's where it gets interesting. The S mint mark tells us it was made at the San Francisco Mint. That alone doesn't make it valuable, because most of these were minted for collectors as part of special proof sets. They were never intended to circulate. In fact, if you find one in your change, something went wrong somewhere along the way. Now, this specific version we're looking at is not the silver proof one, it's the clad version. It's made of copper nickel just like regular coins, but struck with polished dies on specially prepared planches. That's why it looks mirror-like, sharp, and almost too perfect. People confuse this all the time. Just because a coin looks shiny doesn't mean it's rare or valuable. Real coin value comes from condition, rarity, errors, and demand. So are there any rare versions of this coin? Well, yes, but not for the reasons most people think. Some Georgia proof quarters, especially silver ones, can become valuable if they're in pristine condition, graded at the highest levels by PCGS or NGC. Others become collectible if they have unusual errors, like double dyes or striking issues. But those are the exception, not the rule. The average Georgia S-clad proof in ordinary condition won't bring in anything close to what viral videos claim. And here's a warning. The internet is full of fake claims about coins like this. Don't fall for hype. Trust only verified grading services and reliable numismatic sources. At Rare Coin Collecting, we're committed to cutting through the noise and giving you the facts. No hype, no clickbait, just real history and real collector insights. If you're an investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about understanding what actually matters in coin collecting, then this channel is made for you. Subscribe to Rare Coin Collecting and keep learning what most people will never tell you. They say this quarter isn't rare. They say it's not silver, not valuable, not even worth a second glance. But they're missing something hidden in plain sight. This is the 1999 Connecticut D quarter. And if you think it's just another common coin, you're not alone. But in the world of serious collectors, this coin has started drawing quiet attention. And not for the reasons the internet wants you to believe. Let's set the record straight. This quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, and it marks the last coin released in the first year of the 50 State Quarters program. It features the famous charter oak, a massive white oak tree tied to colonial rebellion and the hiding of Connecticut's royal charter from the British. Now here's what collectors care about. First, a mintage. The Denver Mint produced over 1.3 billion of these quarters. That number alone should tell you this isn't a rare coin in the traditional sense. But as we always say here on Rare Coin Collecting, rarity is never the full story. What matters more is condition, errors, varieties, and how collectors view the coin 25 years later. And this is where it gets interesting. A small number of Connecticut D quarters have surfaced with striking errors. Some have visible die cracks through the tree branches. Others have partial collars, off-center strikes, or even double rims, all of which can increase value significantly, especially in high grade. Speaking of grade, that's where real money is. Most of these coins are found in circulation in low condition, but in mint state 67 or higher, values change completely. Only a small fraction of these coins survive in flawless condition with clean surfaces and no distracting marks. That's where collectors are willing to pay premiums. But here's the warning. TikTok and YouTube are flooded with viral posts claiming this coin is worth hundreds or thousands just for being from 1999. That's false. The truth is more nuanced and more interesting. If you've got one with a confirmed mint error, or it grades in the top 1% of surviving coins, then you might be holding a valuable quarter. But if it's worn, damaged, or cleaned, it's worth exactly 25 cents. So what should you do? First, don't clean it, ever. Second, check for unusual features. Third, consider sending it for professional grading only if it looks pristine or shows something unusual. At the end of the day, this coin reminds us why we created Rare Coin Collecting, to fight misinformation and give collectors the truth they actually need. Because it's not about hype, it's about knowledge. If you're an investor, a collector, a buyer, or a seller, this channel is made for you. Subscribe and join us as we uncover the real stories behind the coins, people. They say this Connecticut quarter is worth thousands. But is that actually true? Let's take a deeper look, because the truth might surprise even experienced collectors. This is the 1999 Connecticut S Silver Proof Quarter, part of the very first year of the U.S. State Quarters program. And right off the bat, there's something different about this coin. It's not your everyday pocket change. This one never entered circulation. It was struck at the San Francisco Mint specifically for collectors, using a 900 fine silver blank and a mirror-like proof finish. You can spot it by the sharp S Mint mark under the motto, "In God We Trust," and if you're lucky, you might even find one sealed in its original proof set. But here's where things get interesting. Most silver proofs are beautiful, but only a few reach perfection. In 2018, a Connecticut S Silver Proof, quarter-graded PR70 Deep Cameo, the highest grade possible, sold for over $1,200 at auction. Why? Because out of thousands minted, only a tiny handful came out absolutely flawless. Perfect strike, deep mirrored fields and no marks under magnification. Now that doesn't mean every silver proof is worth that much. Most sell for just $10 to $20 in typical condition, and even fewer reach the $100 range. But if you're holding a coin that looks like it came straight off the dies, untouched and brilliant, it could be worth grading. Just remember, proof coins need to be pristine to have real value. And there's another trap collectors fall into. A lot of people confuse the S-clad proof with the S, silver proof. The silver version weighs slightly more, 25 grams, and has a duller sound when tapped. But visually, you need to check the edge. The silver one has a clean, solid white edge, while the clad proof shows a copper core. Don't let anyone fool you. That copper edge is the giveaway. And no, there are no known mint errors or valuable varieties reported for this coin, despite what viral videos might claim. So if someone online tells you it's worth thousands just because it has a tree on it, that's misinformation. The charter oak on the reverse isn't just any tree. It's a powerful symbol of Connecticut's resistance to tyranny. According to legend, the royal charter was hidden inside this very tree to protect colonial freedoms in the 1600s. And that story? That's worth remembering, even if the coin itself isn't a gold mine. Still, if you have a Connecticut S silver, proof in pristine condition, and especially if it's graded PR70 DCAM, it could be one of the most valuable silver state quarters in your collection, but only if you know what to look for. At Rare Coin Collecting, we dig past the hype and uncover the truth, one coin at a time. If you're a collector, investor, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, then this channel is made for you. We've already broken down 5 state quarters so far, and the next one might just be in your pocket. Don't miss it. You've probably seen the posts. This Connecticut quarter is worth thousands, rather, check your change. But is there really a small fortune hiding in this 25-cent coin from 1999? Or is that just another viral coin myth? Let's break it down, because if you own this quarter, you need to know what actually matters. This is the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter with a P mint mark, struck in Philadelphia. It was the 5th coin released in the legendary 50 State Quarters program. Over 688 million of these were minted, and that massive number alone should already raise a red flag. Why? Because when a coin is this common, it's rarely rare, and when something isn't rare, it usually isn't valuable. But that hasn't stopped people from hyping it up online, saying things like this: Connecticut quarter just sold for $25,000, or check your 1999 quarters ASAP. Most of the time those claims are either misunderstood or completely made up. But here's the truth. The Connecticut P quarter features the charter oak, a symbol of Connecticut's stand for freedom and independence. It's a beautiful design, but it was mass-produced. So in average circulated condition, it's worth a quarter, maybe 35 cents to a generous buyer. Now where things get more interesting is when you move into high-grade, uncirculated coins, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC. A small number of Connecticut P quarters in MS68 condition, nearly flawless, have sold for as much as $1,500. That's right, over $1,000 for a single coin. But here's the catch. MS68 is extremely rare for this issue. Most coins don't come out of the mint that clean, and even fewer survive decades of handling without a scratch or scuff. That means most of the ones you'll find in pocket change or old drawers aren't even close. You'd need a coin with razor-sharp details, no visible marks, full luster, and perfect surfaces, and all verified by professional grading. And even then, the market is limited to advanced collectors willing to pay top dollar. There's no known major error for the Connecticut P quarter, but minor die cracks, off-centers, or double dies may exist in tiny numbers. Still, even those rarely go beyond a few $100s unless extreme. So when people say this coin is super rare, they're usually talking about the grade, not the design or mint mark. And the truth is, if you're digging through change hoping to find a Connecticut quarter worth a life-changing amount, you're going to be disappointed unless you know what to look for. If you do find one that looks promising, it might be time to study coin grading, understand MS66 versus MS68, and consider getting it certified. But don't expect instant riches from just the design alone. What you can expect? A piece of history. Minted in the very first year of a program that changed American coin collecting forever. This is where modern state quarter fever really began. And even though it's not worth thousands for most people, it helped bring millions into the hobby, and that's worth something on its own. This is rare coin collecting, and we're here to show you what's real, what's valuable, and what's just hype. If you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, then this channel is made for you. Don't forget, we've already covered dozens of quarters, and the next one might be sitting right in your own house. Stick around.